Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 102 based on novel. So let's start. A thousand-faced ghost. Take me a move. Zhu Jin shouted angrily, not at all surprised that this thousand-faced ghost had destroyed his minefield formation. Because Zhu Jin knows that the strength and identity of this thousand-faced ghost are extremely mysterious, and it can be regarded as a strange and mysterious person in the ghost world. Too surprised. However, Zhu Jin could feel that at this moment, the thousand-faced ghostly figure spread out into the black air, and a huge force emerged in an instant, and the thunder domain was broken in an instant, and I saw an extremely bright beam in the sky. Strength and a black air. Such fluctuations, holy rank fighting skills. Under the desert, Na Dong suddenly drank, then took a deep breath of cold air, and a sense of fear emerged spontaneously. The power of immortal level fighting skills. If there is no defense, I am afraid that one blow is enough to kill. This holy level fighting skills are even more terrifying. It has already surpassed the category of immortal rank, and it is a big killer move in the true sense. Since this kind of holy rank fighting skill is too rare, Nu Dong does not know its specific power, but one thing is certain, once the holy rank fighting skill is shown, no one can match. Damn bastard. What did this Soul Clan do? Nu Dong shouted angrily, forcibly suppressing the anger in his heart. His breath was soaring, ready to get rid of Shifu. Nudong, you leaked the shocking secrets of my Medusa family, and you colluded with the Ghost World and the Xianling royal family. This time, I'm afraid you will be spared the death penalty. As for, give up resistance. Several of the subordinates who followed Nu Dong had already been captured by the 8 leaders. After all, the leaders of the 9 Medusa tribes should not be underestimated. The trend has gone. I knew I shouldn't have listened to the words of this ghost world person. Sigh. Nu Dong shook his head, and then said in a mournful voice, "Go back." The next moment, just when Shifu was about to take hold of Nu Dong, 2 extremely terrifying energies suddenly rioted in the sky, and a sense of unease appeared in everyone's heart. It's been a long time since I did my best. Zhu Jin slowly raised his palm, a silvery white light appeared on the palm, and then an ancient aura from the ancient past appeared on the palm. What kind of power is this? The thousand-faced ghost on the other side, who had just cracked Zhu Jin's thunder field array and was about to flee, discovered Zhu Jin's terrifying fighting skills, and immediately hesitated. Holy fighting skills, it should be considered a good piece of information. I want to try and see how powerful this holy-level fighting skill is. When the time comes, I will go back to the ghost realm and sell this information to the ghosts who want to attack Xian Santian. I'm afraid I can get what I want. Chen Yan on top of the ghostly dark figure, dark black chi constantly emerged, squirming on its body, like a very gloomy ghost chi. This thousand-faced ghost is actually so arrogant, or does he have his credentials? Zhu Jin hesitated for a moment, and then swept away his worries. Because Zhu Jin has self-confidence, he can definitely inflict heavy damage on this thousand-year-old ghost with his holy fighting skills. Ghost energy, come. A gloomy voice resounded through the sky. Boom boom boom. With the order of the thousand faces ghost, the trace of pure black energy on the ghost's face that had been consumed by the thunderfield array suddenly emerged from his body. Then it appeared directly in front of the thousand-faced ghost and quickly condensed, and that appearance instantly merged into an extremely rounded black bead. Above the bead, an extremely eerie aura suddenly emanated. Holy rank fighting skill, thunder falling to the sky. An angry roar resounded through the sky. With a loud shout, above the sky changed dramatically, changing in an instant, and thunderclouds suddenly appeared above Zhu Jin's head. The color of the thundercloud is quite strange. It is a color close to silver white, but the thunder that emerges from the thundercloud is pitch black. But it was this silver white thundercloud that made thousand-faced ghosts feel a sense of unease. Get up. As soon as the voice fell, Zhu Jin raised the palm wrapped in silver white mysterious power high above his head. A flash of thunder suddenly dispatched, and then slapped directly on the desert on the ground. Boom boom boom. Immediately, a huge pit of several hundred meters appeared out of thin air. Damn, this thunderbolt is not at the same level as the thunderfield array just now. It actually makes me feel scared. This holy-level fighting skill really lives up to its reputation. If I am given enough power, I will be left here today. Thousand-faced ghost stared at the strange-looking Zhu Jin in front of him. Although he didn't know what he wanted to do, there was something the ghostly face knows that the power of this holy rank fighting skill should not be underestimated. Lei Ju. Zhu Jin shouted loudly, and then the thundercloud above his head suddenly appeared a very bright black thunder, and then directly with the aura of destroying the sky and destroying the earth, it suddenly whistled towards Zhujin's palm. Go, Shabu. The black thunder was just injected into Zhujin's palm, and the original silver-white light of Zhujin's palm was instantly dyed with a trace of black power. Not enough. Zhujin shouted loudly, and then more and more black thunder continued to pour into his palm. The power of life and death of black and white, the domineering power of thunder. If this Zhujin's holy rank fighting skills, if there is no good defense, I am afraid that it can kill me in an instant. Thousand-faced ghost muttered. The next moment, the thousand-faced ghost also felt a sense of fear from the black and white terrifying fluctuations on Zhujin's palm, and immediately did not hesitate. He opened his mouth and swallowed the black beads hanging in front of him. Just as the black beads were swallowed, a black mist suddenly emanated from his body. In a short period of time, a range of tens of meters emerged. Wherever the black fog goes, the space is swallowed up. Saint-level fighting skills are indeed well-deserved. But I can't let you go on like this, otherwise this power will threaten me. Thousand-faced ghost snorted coldly. 5 soul-piercing thorns. A strange smile suddenly emerged from the black mist, and then, in the black mist, 5 dark chains burst out. Choke, choke. Above the chain, there is a monstrous black energy mixed with the sky, and the sword's edge is the best weapon for killing. Go. Amidst the black fog, terrifying ghost auras were attached to the chains, and then the speed exploded, attacking the bamboo embers that were constantly absorbing the power of thunder. This soul-piercing thorn has the same origin as the one that attacked Zhujin just now, but it was 3 souls before, but now it is 5 souls. The 5 chains are constantly changing, rushing away to the strange ghosts. Holy rank fighting skills, isn't it that your soul-piercing thorn can compare to you? A proud voice sounded from Zhujin's mouth under the thunder cloud in the sky. Zhujin, I admit that your holy rank fighting skills are very powerful, but at this time your holy rank fighting skills are far from being formed, and your strength is not enough. How can you fight me? Thousand-faced ghost heard the words, gloomy laughter from black emerging in the fog. Then give it a try. Zhujin snorted coldly, and then the silver-white thundercloud moved rapidly. It looked like it wanted to resist the 5 chains. Wonderful. Thousand-faced ghost said disdainfully, because thousand-faced ghost knew that his own soul-piercing stab could not be resisted by just a few thunderclouds. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying silver-white thundercloud came to the chain in an instant, and all the terrifying black thunderbolts had been absorbed by the bamboo embers. At this time, the thunderbolts above the silver-white thunderclouds were quite weak. Choke. The chain and the thundercloud touched instantly, and then the chain made a very harsh sound. The next moment, at the center of the silver-white thundercloud, a dark chain suddenly pierced out. Then the silver-white thundercloud was instantly pierced, and then the 5 dark chains rushed towards Zhujin. Bang, bang, bang. The silver-white thundercloud was broken by a chain with a strange ghost, and then disappeared into the sky into pieces. It should be enough. Zhujin smiled slowly, but on the palm of his hand, a terrifying aura like the power of the ancient times suddenly filled the entire sky. Seeing this, the scarlet eyes in the black mist suddenly froze. Zhujin slowly closed his eyes. But the next moment, Zhujin suddenly opened his eyes and shouted, "Heavenly palm." With a loud shout, it was like a thunderous thunder, attracting all the people above the sky and the desert. Thunderbolt, thunderbolt. As soon as the voice fell, the palm of Zhujin's right hand, one black and one white, 2 completely different powers jumped close to the distance. Boom, boom, boom. At the next moment, Zhujin suddenly stood up, and slapped his palms forward heavily. A strong aura that wiped out everything between heaven and earth emerged. The strange thing is that this time, the energy on Zhujin's palm did not converge into an energy handprint and attacked the 5 chains. Instead, it was just a miniature black and that slowly wrapped Zhujin's palm, and then Zhujin's the figure suddenly hit the 5 chains. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as the 2 collided, they collided with fierce sparks. What happened? Space freezes. A shock suddenly came from the black fog. Because Zhujin's palm collided with the 5 chains at this time, Heiwu wanted to take advantage of this time to escape, but found that the space here has solidified. No matter how turbulent you are, you can't move at all. The power and secrets of Hola-level fighting skills are rarely mentioned to me even by a few ghosts. Let's go. Otherwise, if you fall down today. In the black mist, those scarlet eyes were slightly solemn. Road. Break it for me. He shouted loudly, and then the 5 dark chains that were stalemate with Zhujin, the palm wrapped by thunder instantly pressed over the dark chains, and then the chains were suddenly shattered under the power of the extremely overbearing thunder, and finally turned into traces of black gas and poured into the black mist. Several violent coughs came from the black mist. Ghost fog. A roar suddenly emerged from the black fog. A smell emerged from the scarlet eyes in the black mist, and then in this space, a dark and gloomy ghostly dream spread, letting this space, terrifying howls make this space. The space trembled. Thousand-faced ghosts, where are you running? Zhu Jin had just cracked the 5-soul piercing, and the next moment, the offensive in his hands increased rather than decreased, and the speed exploded, coming towards the black mist. Zhu Jin vaguely realized that this thousand-faced ghost seemed to have some purpose, and there were signs of escape at this time. Zhu Jin, I have to say that you are very strong, but my goal has been achieved. See you next time. Just after the weird laughter ended, the weird black mist spread suddenly, covering the entire sky in an instant, and even the desert. Let's go. A cold snort came from the desert, and then Enyu Dong, whose aura had been sluggish, was actually lifted up by a sinister palm surrounded by ghost. Damn it. Stop him. Seeing this, Shifu immediately shouted angrily. Susu. Next time we see you, I hope you can still have such good luck. After the thousand-faced ghost said, he turned into a black light with his anger and disappeared in front of everyone. Don't chase after poor thieves. Cough, cough. The bamboo embers above the sky instantly wilted, and then the terrifying attack on the palm also dimmed in an instant. Zhu Jin, are you alright? Shifu frowned, obviously not knowing what happened to Zhu Jin. Hehe, I'm fine, but I didn't think that the price of rashly launching a holorank fighting skill would be expensive. Zhu Jin coughed violently. It's fine. Shifu said directly, and the next moment he glanced at the 8 leaders next to him. Everyone has worked hard this time, everyone will go back to their tribe now and strengthen their defenses, Shifu said. Lord Shifu, 3 people from the Xianling royal family have already entered the temple. Are we joining forces to find out? The male leader who had colluded with Enyu Dong said. The matter of the temple is not something you should worry about. You should worry about your business. A cold snort directly disrupted the man's plan. Let's go, there should be no problem with Lord Shifu here, we should go back as soon as possible to prevent the Xianling royal family from counterattacking. The Snake King also said. If that's the case, then let's go. When the leader heard the words, he also nodded, and then mobilized the vindictive energy in his body and spread it out. After a few breaths, there were only Shifu, Zhu Jin, and some of Enyu Dong's subordinates. Let me tell you. How could Enyu Dong collude with the Ghost Realm and the Xianling royal family? Shifu said lightly, but there was an unquestionable majesty in his voice. I don't know. A firm voice appeared. Crack. With a sound, the man's head and body were instantly separated. That shot was Snake. It's your turn. Shifu said coldly. Sir, spare your life, we really don't know. Several people under Enyu Dong wailed at the same time. Crack. The voice sounded, and these people died instantly. The body and head were divided, and the soul was instantly killed, and these people would only become a bone as the desert eroded. It's really cruel. Zhu Jin couldn't help but said. This is an internal matter of our Medusa. By the way, why did you come here suddenly? Shifu glanced at Zhu Jin next to him and said. Just passing by. Zhu Jin said casually. I don't believe it. Is it what Fen Tian meant? Shifu said. You. Zhu Jin's smile just disappeared instantly, his face full of surprise. My Medusa clan is not your turn to help. We will naturally resolve the matter of the temple. You better manage your flames. Shifu said coldly. We are already planning, Yang Kai must be saved. Zhu Jin said slowly. Where is he? Shifu asked in surprise. It should be in the deepest part of the underground palace of the Xianling royal family. Are you sure? Not yet. If you need my help, just say. En. Shifu and Zhu Jin were talking slowly, but the Medusa temple was sinking into the desert. With the end of the Medusa family affairs, Shifu also temporarily replaced the commander. With one orderly order, the 9 major Medusa tribes returned to their usual appearance. As for the Avengers ruled by Nudong, the tribe also has a new leader. As for the forces of Enyu Dong, they have already been completely expelled. As for the blue and white snake, its foundation has been shaken due to the fall of the companion spirit snake, so its strength has dropped to the level of a first-turn 9-star fighting emperor, and I am afraid it will be difficult to improve in the future. However, since the blue and white snake did not have any life-threatening worries, Shifu had nothing to do. However, as the blue and white snake resigned from all positions and concentrated on teaching Qingyang, the injury in the body seemed to be slowly repaired under Qingyan's breath. I just don't know how long it will take to restore the peak. The temple of the Medusa family, in the core area of the Desert of Death. After Qin Tian and his group escaped from the temple, they also came to the center of the desert, which is also several kilometers away from the temple. Captain, do we want to take a break? I think the injuries of the others are a little serious. Beside Qin Tian, Yaroshin glanced at the companions beside him and said slightly, "Let's rest here." Qin Tian said slowly, obviously because of his peak Do Emperor strength, he is still suffering from injuries, not to mention the other 8-star Do Emperor powerhouses. Shabu. Qin Tian and his group of 8 slowly came to the desert ground, then sat down directly, ignoring the terrifying temperature. Damn it. The strength of this Medusa clan is really terrifying. The next moment, Xuanmo sat down viciously and said, "This time, it's indeed that anger who has concealed something, otherwise we wouldn't be so embarrassed. That guardian beast of the colorful swallowing python almost had an accident." Qin Tian slowly formed a dochi-light chair next to him and sat on it. "Are you all right?" Kor said slowly. "It's all right, it's just a little out of strength." The next moment, a few people looked down and said, "Then." Hearing the words, Yaroshin also felt relieved, and then directly stroked the ring in his hand. A jade bottle without a delicate medicinal pill appeared, and then the Yaroshin threw it lightly and threw it at a few people around him. "Enter." "I don't know why. There seems to be something on the other side of the Temple of Medusa." Qin Tian swallowed the medicinal pill directly, and then his breath recovered almost 60%, and then stared at the desert area in the distance. "That is a desert area. It is said to be one of the 3 most peculiar places in this desert of death. Although there are countless gold and silver treasures, the risk factor is quite high," Fan Yu said. Except for Qin Tian, the auras of the others have almost recovered to about 50%, so their faces also have some lifelike aura. "Rest for a while, then let's go. Since they have entered the Medusa temple, the rest is up to them." Qin Tian slowly pondered, and the people who were talking were naturally Xianling. The 3 kings. Everyone made a deep voice, then closed their eyes and rested, trying to adjust their state. "Qin Tian brother, you really make us look good." Not long after, a gloomy voice appeared beside Qin Tian, and a strange black energy like a dead person wrapped around his body. An eerie aura suddenly emerged. "Liu Quan, you, the master of the 3 Solomon sects, are quite incompetent. Why don't you go and kill Zhu Jin?" Qin Tian's face sank. "The purpose of our trip is to kill Zhu Jin, so that our subsequent plans can be carried out more smoothly. But we just don't know where Zhu Jin is, so I'm here to ask you guys." Liu Quan, the 2 strong men of Solomon, stood beside him, and then slowly released an invisible coercion. "Let's talk." Qin Tian's expression softened slightly. How can the ghost energy in Liu Quan's body be so strong, isn't it? Yaroshin stood next to Qin Tian, and most directly felt the huge ghost energy in Liu Quan's body. En. Liu Quan responded slowly and flew down directly towards the desert where Qin Tian was, but it was strange that the 2 strong men beside Liu Quan didn't make any movements and stayed in the sky. "We've been looking for a lot of time, but this Zhu Jin's whereabouts are too strange, so." Liu Quan's short stature and Qin Tian had just been together, and they immediately became clear about this. Zhu Jin's words should be in the depths of the Medusa clan, perhaps around the Medusa temple. Qin Tian frowned when he heard this, obviously not knowing why Liu Quan said this. King Fudaming dispatched such a terrifying lineup this time. I don't know why he came to this desert of death. Liu Quan smiled strangely at Qin Tian. "Liu Quan, what do you mean? A mere Solomon's 3-sect master is worthy of talking to me like this." A loud shout emerged from Qin Tian's mouth. "Now, let's see if you are qualified." Liu Quan was not surprised when he heard the words. Immediately, the dark palm hidden under the black cloak, with a black liquid like water, suddenly faced Qin, who was within a few meters of him. "Attack away, bastard." Qin Tian's pupils shrank suddenly, and just then he was about to defend Liu Quan, but he didn't expect that a heavy blow would directly hit his already body. A mouthful of blood spurted out of Qin Tian's mouth. "Liu Quan, what are you doing?" Among the few, Xianwan Xin, the weakest one, suddenly drank, and a monstrous aura emerged, directly facing the Solomon 3-sect master. "Captain, are you all right?" A soft voice came out. It was the medicine core. "Go away." A roar emerged from Liu Quan's black cloak, and then spread into circles of black ripples, attacking directly at the complexion. Xianwan Xin. "Leader, you guys go first." Although Xianwan Xin was the weakest in the Dragon-Loving Legion, in terms of courage, no one in the Dragon-Loving Legion would back down. "Wan Xin, if you say this, you will be seen as a foreigner. Our Dragon-Loving army is a whole." On the other side, Fan Yu's broad palm slapped Shen Wanxin's palm. Then let's fight. The three of you, Solomon, just want to swallow my dragon-loving legion, and I'm afraid they will kill you all, Qin Tian insisted, but a rather dark aura slowly wriggled around his chest, extremely ferocious. Come on then. Qin Tian, your soul power at the peak of Do Di is extremely delicious. After Liu Quan finished speaking, he took off the black cloak that had been covering his body. Under the black cloak, there is a young and immature boy. The boy looks quite handsome and his facial features are correct, but in the pupils, black energy emerges, and he knows it is very strange. Go. They are already at the end of the game. Kill them, their soul power is yours. Liu Quan opened his mouth slightly. Shabu. As soon as Liu Quan finished speaking, his figure suddenly appeared in the sky and quickly distanced himself from Qin Tian, but the two powerhouses Song Li and Yong Wei beside Liu Quan erupted into a monstrous darkness. He was angry, and then he went to the dragon-loving legion on the ground, like a hungry ghost rushing for food. Shabu shabu. Song Li and Yang Wei's silhouettes moved, and they turned into two black auras, and they were ready to go to the people above the desert. Snort. A very strange voice suddenly came out of the two of them, and then the black air on the two of them seemed to have turned into a very transparent color, and a sense of crisis emanated from it, which seemed to be divided. Weird. Standing a few hundred meters away from the dragon-loving legion, the dragon-loving legion can also feel a sense of crisis. Protect the head. Yaroshin shouted, and it seemed that he also found the horror of these people, and the huge soul power continued to pour out. Let's capture it. Liu Quan's small figure made a disdainful voice, as if he didn't care about the other members of the dragon-loving legion. After all, the strength of the dragon-loving legion at this time is Qin Tian. Although Qin Tian is at the peak of Do Di, he has exposed too many methods in the fight with the Medusa clan just now. His current strength, I'm afraid it's only enough to deal with a 9-star Do Di. In addition, as for the Dragon Addiction Army at this time, there is no one in the 9-star Do Di, so Liu Quan is not afraid. Cough cough cough. Qin Tian coughed suddenly, and then the blood was not in the normal state, but a pool of strange black blood. What is this? Qin Tian instantly caught the pool of black blood in his hand and stared at it slowly and randomly. Qin Tian, I'm afraid it's time for you to return some of the things you took from our Solomon today. Liu Quan ignored the two powerhouses around him and the many dragon-loving legions guarding Qin Tian. People. Liu Quan, it was a waste of time for our Shenling royal family to treat you like this, but you actually, cough, cough. Qin Tian shouted in anger. These people from the dragon-loving legion have little vindictive energy left in their bodies after the battle just now. Give it to me, Liu Quan said coldly, not at all like what a teenager should look like. Head, are you all right? Fan Yu and a few people surrounded him and slowly faced Qin Tiandao. It seems that the black qi in the body should be a little weird. Could it be that this black qi is ghost qi? Qin Tian was shocked, but he still shook his head and waved to a few people. This Liu Quan is a genuine 3-rank 9-star Do Di powerhouse. As for the other two, Song Li, the middle stage of the 8-star Do Di, Yong Wei, the late stage of the 8-star Do Di, this is extremely tricky. Yaroshin said slightly. His face is extremely solemn, obviously with the special exploration power of the drug core, he already knows the strength of the three Solomon. Head, what should we do now? Fan Yu stepped forward slightly, staring at the three Solomon powerhouses in front of him. Only hard. But remember, life is important. Qin Tian slightly adjusted the strength in his body, forcibly suppressed it, and then opened his mouth. Old Qin Tian, your strength at the peak of Do Di is indeed well deserved. If you were an ordinary person, I'm afraid you would die. Liu Quan laughed, and the monstrous black air permeated the sky, instantly closing the space. Liu Quan had his own self-confidence. His attack just now was enough to kill an ordinary second-ranking 9-star Do Emperor. If Qin Tian had not had some special means, he would have died on the spot. Damn it. Qin Tian cursed secretly. It's too late, let's do it. Qin Tian also knew the seriousness of the matter. In this special closed space, no matter what happened to the outside world, he didn't know at all. If he fell into it, with Solomon's heart, he would definitely not let it go. Those who passed their group suddenly drank. The other members of the dragon-loving legion nodded slightly after hearing the words. Years of cooperation between them had given them enough trust in each other. Therefore, even if the entire dragon-loving legion that is currently reserved has insufficient vindictive energy, no one escape. This is the strength of the first trump card army of the Shenling royal family. Song Li, Yong Wei, hold on to them. Qin Tian, hand it over to me. Liu Quan said coldly. Go. If I absorb the soul power of the elites of the dragon-loving legion, I'm afraid my strength can be improved a lot. Song Li and Yong Wei thought in their hearts. Kill. A murderous aura suddenly emerged from Qin Tian's pupils. Qin Tian, today, you must die. After Liu Quan finished speaking, his figure moved strangely, and when he reappeared the next moment, he was already several meters away from Qin Tian's side, and a strange black energy emerged from his body, which was very gloomy. If you want to kill this king, do you think it's up to you? A disdain suddenly appeared from Qin Tian's mouth. Susu, worthy of being a powerhouse at the pinnacle of Do Di, with such a spirit. Liu Quan was not surprised at all, but instead stood opposite Qin Tian as usual. Although I have insufficient fighting qi in my body, and my body is covered with scars, the majesty of the Do Emperor's peak is not a threat to your mere rank 3 strength. Qin Tian's expression did not change, and he forcibly suppressed the conspicuous palm print on his chest. Ghost hands. With an angry shout, Liu Quan, who looked like a teenager, took the lead, because Liu Quan is also a vigilant person by nature. Although Qin Tian is now a tiger and Pingyang is bullied by a dog, in order to prevent any other means, he must not so. Susu. As soon as Liu Quan finished speaking, a huge arm suddenly formed beside him who looked like a teenager. The arm is about tens of feet in size, but above the arm, a strange black air emerges, mixed with a terrifying aura. Qin Tian, it's not dead yet, Liu Quan said coldly, and then the ghost hand erupted with monstrous black energy, and suddenly waved towards Qin Tian. Tips for carving insect. Qin Tian said calmly with an inappropriate expression. Then Qin Tian was surrounded by a fiery red that was extremely hot or appeared out of thin air. Shabu shabu. The black ghost hand and the fiery red flame just touched, and the black wave suddenly turned into a white mist. What is this? When Liu Quan saw this scene, his pupils shrank slightly, because even with the strength of his third-ranking 9-star Do Di, when staring at the fiery red flame, a blazing passion came from his heart. Sense emerges. Humph. Liu Quan, do you think this king has no support? Your rank 3 strength, today, I am afraid that you are going to fall here. Qin Tian was surrounded by fiery red flames, and an aura of flames that wiped out everything immediately appeared. Qin Tian, you are still stubborn when you die. Although Liu Quan was surprised, he didn't show it. The strong man suppressed the shock in his heart. Because Liu Quan knew that today was the best chance to kill Qin Tian. If he kills Qin Tian and absorbs the soul of Qin Tian Do Emperor Peak through special means, I am afraid that his strength is enough to step into the real Do Emperor Peak, or even add a few other dragon-loving legionaries to break through to the real peak. The half-immortal is not a bad idea. I don't want to waste time with you. The game of cat-catching fish should be over. The next moment, Liu Quan changed his breath, and a delicate item slowly appeared in his hand. What is that? With a rather dark object appearing in Liu Quan's hand, Qin Tian's pupils shrank strangely, and then the flames around him shook violently, as if he had encountered some terrifying natural enemy. What's the matter? Yaroshin and several people worked together to deal with Song Li and Yong Wei, but they were still able to fight 55-50, but everyone also felt that with the delay of the fighting time, in addition to the black gas the enchantment shrouded, the strength of Song Li and Yong Wei is getting stronger and stronger. If this continues, I am afraid that within 3 minutes, they will be defeated instantly. Yaroshin raised his head and saw Qin Tian and Liu Quan in the sky. The power of a fiery red and domineering flame appeared on the two of them. As for the other, a rather delicate item appeared in Liu Quan's hand. However, because it was surrounded by jet black gas, the core did not notice what this thing was. Fanyu, give me a moment, that stuff in Liu Quan's hand seems a little weird. Yaroshin spoke directly at the next moment, then finished speaking, sat down, and her eyes were locked in an instant. Okay. Fan Yu's heart sank when he heard the words, urging the exercises in his body and the remaining traces of vindictiveness to intercept Song Li's attack. Bang bang bang. The next moment, an invisible huge soul force suddenly emerged from the core of the medicine, and immediately shot at Liu Quan above the sky. Humph. It's too much. Liu Quan noticed the action of the medicine core, and then snorted coldly in disdain, and a black air suddenly spread from his feet. Puff puff. The black air suddenly spread out, and then attacked the medicine core on the ground. The medicine core was caught off guard and was attacked by the black gas, and the back turned pale, and a smear of blood spurted out instantly. That thing, it's terrifying. But it should be specially designed to deal with souls. Captain, be careful. The medicine core wiped away the blood from the corners of his mouth, and then opened his mouth slightly. Yaroshin, you must defeat Song Li and Yong Wei, otherwise, this time, we may be in trouble. he said with a worried look. Shoot. Yaroshin heard the words, and put away the worries in his heart, and concentrated on dealing with Song Li and Yong Wei in front of him. Liu Quan, you are so willing. Qin Tian squinted at Liu Quandao, who looked like a teenager. With years of combat experience, Qin Tian knew that what Liu Quan had in his hands would never be ordinary. At this time, the fiery red flame around Qin Tian's body had dimmed slightly. As for this reason, it may be due to the strange item in Liu Quan's hand at this time, or the lack of vindictiveness in Qin Tian's body. Qin Tian, I said, no matter how huge the price is, this time, you will die. Liu Quan's youthful face suddenly smiled grimly, with a little evil in his smile. The thing in your hand, although I don't know what it is, but according to this breath, it should be a kind of ghost world. Qin Tian opened his mouth slightly, but his pupils locked Liu Quan's hand. The vision is not bad, but it's okay to tell you. This thing is called the soul-shattering card. After Liu Quan finished speaking, the black air mass that was lying quietly in his hand trembled strangely. In the air pattern. Soul-shattering card? Qin Tian's body was shocked when he heard the word. As the leader of the dragon-loving legion, a strong man at the peak of the dignified Do Di, how could he not know the horror of this thing? The broken soul comes out. The soul is lost. The short 8 characters explain the horror of this broken soul card. The so-called soul-shattering card is enough to truly achieve the goal of killing the peak powerhouse of Do Di. Because of the strong Do Emperor, even after the fall, as long as the soul power is still retained, they can achieve rebirth through some special means of the alchemist, but if the soul power disappears, it is undoubtedly the real fall. It's no wonder that Qin Tian was so shocked. After all, Qin Tian at this time was not at his peak. Damn it, how could it be a soul-shattering card? This is something that only ghosts can condense. Could it be that Solomon has any connection with the ghost world? Qin Tian's pupils were instantly full of blood, and he said incredulously. Even with the strength of Emperor Qin Tiando at the peak, he still felt powerless against the soul-shattering card. Because this soul-shattering card is fundamentally a kind of weapon, but it is a one-time thing, so it also makes it precious. But the most terrifying thing about this soul-shattering card is that it is hard to guard against. There has been nothing to defend against since ancient times. There has always been a saying in the outside world that under the broken soul, the strong person below the half-immortal will be destroyed in form and spirit. Qin Tian, what about your pride at the peak of Dodi? Eerie laughter continued to emanate from Liu's body. Looking for death. Qin Tian shouted loudly, and then no longer hesitated. The fiery red flames instantly covered his whole body, his hands were clenched, and he whizzed away towards Liu Quan. The world trembled slightly. It's time to end. Liu's whole body flickered strangely, and with a casual touch, he avoided Qin Tian's seemingly terrifying blow. Qin Tian fluttered into the air, his speed exploded again, and attacked where Liu Quan kept dodging. At this moment, there was a fierce collision above the sky. Qin Tian knew clearly that once the broken soul card was dispatched, I am afraid that none of the members of the dragon-loving legion would be able to withstand it. At that time, the fate of their entire group would only be the nourishment for this Solomon. Qin Tian, accept the move. Liu Quan shouted loudly, and then a terrifyingly dazzling black light burst out from the strange air mass in his hand. The dark light was like a death ray, blasting directly at Qin Tian. With Liu Quan's big drink, Qin Tian seemed to feel that his heart and soul seemed to be locked by something. No matter how Qin Tian used the means, it would not help. A chill emerged in my heart. Not good. A loud shout came from Qin Tian's mouth. Captain. On the ground, Yaroshin shouted at the same time, and then the breath suddenly shook, instantly blocking the attack of Song Li and Yong Wei, and immediately lifted into the air, facing Qin Tian. With such an appearance, it is astonishing that he wants to save Qin Tian. Damn it. It's too late. At the next moment, Xian Wanxin, who was at the back of the group, suddenly filled with a hint of decisiveness, and immediately above the dark body, an extremely dazzling red light instantly appeared here. In the black enchantment, Xian Wanxin, stop me. He drank abruptly, but the tears could no longer be stopped, and he burst into tears. Sister Xin, take good care of your brothers and sisters. Xian Wanxin said to Yaroshin, who was on the side. After speaking, his whole body shook violently, and then suddenly turned into a red light, with an aura of extinction, facing that the soul-shattering death ray blasted up. Xian Wanxin, you bastard. After he finished speaking, he suddenly ignored the people around him, and then his breath burst out again, catching up with Xian Wanxin. Qingmu, you are. Xian Wanxin said sluggishly. Idiot, I'm with you. After speaking, a rare charming smile appeared in the corner of his eyes. This video will end here.